Right, so tonight we're at Westbury Pool, and this place is way older than it looks. It actually opened in 1887, proper Victorian bathhouse vibes. They used to have little bath cubicles and everything, and apparently they even covered the pool over in the winter so people could have dances. Bit mad, but yeah. It's not all cute history. Loads of people reckon this place is properly haunted. There's one spirit, they call him George. They think he was a maintenance guy who either fell from the gallery or had some kind of accident down in the plant room. People say they've seen him walking around at the deep end in a boiler suit, and then he just disappears. And then there's this weird stuff. The showers turning on by themselves, lockers slamming, fire doors going off when no one's around. Classic ghost chaos. And a few lifeguards have apparently jumped in thinking a kid had fallen in the pool, but there was no one there. Just full-on splashing sounds out of nowhere. So yeah, excited to see what happens tonight. We'll keep you posted. Here's your quick rundown of what happened at Westbury Pool last night, because it was one of those nights that just kept giving. We kicked things off in the viewing gallery, and straight away the K2 was lighting up. A few people in the group who were sensitive picked up on a little girl, Alice or Alison, who kept peeking at us from the corners. And then this older guy showed up, I think maybe a caretaker or a cleaner, as he kept prodding at the equipment like he had a mop and a job to do. Someone headed to base room with white noise to try and tune in a bit more, and yep, same two spirits came through. We tried dowsing rods to find out what the spirits were, and got hit on a chair. So we aimed the thermal cam and boom, random hotspot. Next minute, the SLS camera picked up a figure exactly where the rod pointed, and it moved on command. So then we went upstairs and we split into two groups, each in an office. In my group, the K2 kept reacting every time one of the spirits tried to communicate with us. We got the name Alice Smithinson, and that she used to come dancing when the pool was boarded over and used as a hall, which we didn't even know was a thing. So just as we were about to wrap up here though, we heard footsteps, like someone running up the stairs. We opened the door and immediately nothing. Other group heard it too. No one on the stairs. No explanation. We tried the female changing rooms next, but honestly, it was flat. So we sang nursery rhymes and old-timey songs to try and get the energy up a little bit, but nothing. So we moved on. Different story in the men's. Cold spots, K2 lighting up, cat balls going off. I kept getting my face stroked. And one of the corners near the showers just felt wrong. We did an EVP session and caught a whistle on playback that none of us had live. Then we heard like a metallic sound, went to check poolside and found a puddle on the cover that hadn't been there before, and no one went out there. Footsteps too, but again, there was no one there. Back in the changing rooms though, one of the spirits came through really clearly. A young man who died by suicide after being bullied. His partner's name also came up, and the hexcom started going off saying Beelzebub, France, throat, and after a bit of back and forward and saying he can move on, finally the word heaven came through. So it did feel like he had finally moved on. So yeah, that was Westbury Pool. Full write-up is going on my blog tomorrow if you want all the juicy details. The link is in my bio.